Hi everyone, welcome on my channel. In today's video I would like to show you what Hibernate N+1 problem is, how it slows down the given parts of the system or even kills the performance of it, and obviously how to fix it, how to prevent that problem from happening. All of this I will show you practically in today's video in the code, in the scenario I prepared for the video, and I will show you some nuances related to Hibernate, to the ORM and database, and relations between ORM and database, and obviously relations between entities, between two tables. So let's move on to the video. And keep in mind that for this video, for full context and for full understanding, I would say that basics of Spring Framework and Hibernate are needful. So if you are not familiar with these frameworks, I recommend you to get to know at least the basics of it and come back to this video. Okay, so let's move on to the video. I prepared simple entities, product and shop. They have relation with each other. So shop has products, obviously. And as you see, we have shop entity. I did as, you know, I gave as little fields as possible because this is not important in this problem. The relation is important in this Hibernate issue. So here we have one-to-many relation with products. So what does it mean? It means that one shop can have many products, and same with product. Here is also relation. So it's the same, but it's not one-to-many, but it's many-to-one relation. So many products can have one shop. Simple as that. Okay, and here I prepared simple Spring repositories. I prepared controller in which we will trigger our method here. Okay. And I will even show you with this example. And I prepared in the database, I created obviously tables corresponding to our entities, so product entity and shop entity. I created, I inserted some testing data set just to show you this problem because we need some amount of data set for this problem to see what is actually happening, because without the data in the database I would not be able to show you that problem. So we have the data, we have the entities, and we have the relation. And one more thing, here, as you see, we didn't specify anything. We didn't specify fetch type. So by default, if you do not specify anything, this fetch type is eager. So actually, this fetch type is the same as this, because by default the fetch type is eager, and same here. So as I showed you here in the service, I created simple method. Here we have products. We are streaming on products. Maybe I will show you even simpler method. And look what we are doing here. We are doing get ID method. So we are retrieving ID of the product. And let's switch on the application. Our Spring application started on port 8080. So we can trigger through REST controller our method. And look, and I forgot to tell you, here I created logback spring.xml, and here I switched on the queries, SQL queries, so we can see the actual queries going to the database in the console. So let's trigger the endpoint. Look what is happening here. Look. This is horrible. This is huge performance killer. Look, 6 seconds. It lasted 6 seconds. You can do it even again. And look how many queries are used in the console. Now even longer, 10 seconds, almost 10 seconds. And what happened here? Let me tell you. In the service, we are just calling getID method in the product entity. And what is happening? Default, as I showed you before, the default fetch type is eager. And eager fetch type works that if you do something on entity, even if you are not calling the shop itself, because look, we didn't call the getShop method here, we just called getID method. And even that we didn't call the shop, Hibernate tries to fetch that entity because there is eager fetch type, so Hibernate fetch it no matter from the situation. So it fetches it every time, you know, like not every time, because if we here specify get category ID, it will not, in the same loop, it will not call it again, because once we fetch it, we have it. But I mean that we have, for example, 10,000 products, and it will fetch 10,000 times. That's why it's N+1 problem, because it fetch n times. In this scenario, it fetch 10,000 times if we have 10,000 products. One nuance before showing you the solution of this problem. One nuance. Here we can give lazy type. Lazy type means and tells Hibernate not to fetch the entity until it's needed. So until the getShop method is called. So I will show you. Let's run it again with the lazy type. We are triggering the method. And look, 1 second. Just one query. Just one query. Select all fields from product where category ID, because we are searching by category. So look, with fetch type lazy, we didn't call the shop entity, so the Hibernate didn't fetch it. And that is worth knowing. I'm telling you this because it's important, and in real life situations, in the real life and in production applications, it's important to manage this relationship, because sometimes, because of this default eager type, we are fetching too many properties that we don't actually need. So it's important to know. And okay, I showed you the lazy type, and now let's move on. Actually, let's go back to default type, to eager type, and how to fix it. How to actually fix it. We have getShop. Even we have getID, we don't have to, because in eager type, as I showed you, we are just calling the product and Hibernate will fetch it. So how to fix it? Let's look at the repository method. In the repository, we have, it's simple Hibernate syntax. So select P from product P, where P, that category ID, equals category ID we give in the parameter. And actually, it's only one thing that we should add here. It's join fetch p and what we want to join. In this scenario we want to join fetch shop. And what does this query do? Now look, this query looks like this. Select from where. Let's run the program. And look, now if we trigger the application, I mean the method in the application, look, 1 second, and look here, only one query is produced. And look, before we had select from where. Now we have select from join where. So look, we are joining the shop entity in one query. So we are not doing it over and over again in the loop, one by one, but we are joining it in one query, all at once. So we are not losing this performance. We are not losing the performance. And this is very important. So here, look, here because I showed you the eager and lazy difference. Here we can even call getShop method. And even with that, even we are calling getShop method, it will not fetch anything. Just to show you and just to prove you that this solution works. Look, one query. Only one query is produced. Nothing else. Here it increased slightly from 1.5 to 2.5 because of binding, binding of entity, because here I call product getShop, so Hibernate bind it, And this solution I showed you, join fetch solution, is actually the most common and I would say the best in most scenarios. Me personally, in work, I use it on daily basis and mostly use that. There is also EntityGraph solution, but I don't use it that often. You can watch some video on the YouTube or read some article about EntityGraph. But I think that at this moment, if you are familiar now slightly with join fetch solution, I would focus on that and I would try it locally in your applications and try with different fetch types, with different entities on different relations, and also I encourage you to switch on the logback spring.xml. I mean, switch the SQL queries in your console, because thanks to that you can see what is actually what queries are actually produced. So this is very important. So that would be all for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you came to this moment of the video, leave a comment below and feel free to ask. I will for sure answer on every question. And for example, maybe I did not explain something enough and you are just curious about something. As I said, leave comment below, I will answer for sure, and see you in the next video.